So today is November 10th, 2022, and this is Wendy Rose Williams with Meet Your Spirit Guide. And I'm so happy to have you here, whether it's live for this workshop, which was rebooked from 2 weeks ago when I had laryngitis, and you would have heard like small croaky sounds from me, in fact, if that. So thank you all for being wonderfully flexible and rejoining me on this date instead. And what we're going to do is do a guided meditation together. So you're welcome to get in a place where you can relax. You're welcome to take off your glasses, close your eyes. If you want to turn off your camera and lie back or relax or put your head down on the desk, whatever's comfortable for you. So let's get started. And I will leave my camera on, but up to you if you want to turn yours off, you're welcome to. And let's see if I can make me be the spotlight. And if I can't, we won't worry about that. Let's see. All right, that's not doing what I want it to do. So here we go. There we go. All right, found the right button. So let's get started. And I'm just going to close my eyes and let's invite our higher selves to be fully in our bodies with all that wonderful distilled wisdom across all lifetimes, and asking our higher selves to please be wonderfully grounded to Mother Earth, to this beautiful planet that we get the opportunity to live on. And when we're grounded, when we're fully in our bodies, our higher selves are fully in our bodies, it is so much easier to be healthy, to be happy, to have wonderful relationships, to feel that we're living our purpose. So grounding and clearing your energy every day is just something that can be so, so helpful. And I've got a separate podcast on that topic I can share with you also, just the basics of how to ground and clear your energy and raise your vibration every day, because it really, really does make a difference. So what we're going to do today, first, let me introduce myself for those of you who don't know who I am. I'm Wendy Rose Williams, and I am a past life energy healer. And I help people release the energy that no longer serves them. Things such as chronic pain, anxiety, depression, those energies, those emotions that you just are not finding helpful or beneficial anymore, but they can get stuck in our field and they can be really hard to move out. So hence the reason for grounding and clearing our energy every day and learning how to raise our vibration and frequency. And one of the best ways we can do that is by working with our own higher self and our guides. I see our spirit guides as an aspect of us. I see our higher selves as an aspect of us. I see us all as a spark of the divine, whatever your belief system is. So please, if I use a term that doesn't resonate for you, don't get stuck on it. Just substitute whatever the right term for you is. If I say God and for you it's universe or the divine, please just go with the flow as we're going along and doing this guided meditation together. So let's get started. And again, welcome to close your eyes, just relax, really get into your body, wonderfully grounded, and inviting in our guides to please be with us. And our guides can take on many forms. They may present for you as perhaps an ancestor, a high being of light, a very wise ancestor, perhaps an ascended master, perhaps an angel, perhaps a powerful yet benevolent animal. Guides can be playful. They can present like cartoons or like avatars. It just depends on the person. And often they're humorous and silly because it just helps us raise our vibration and frequency to connect with them in that manner. So calling them in to please come in and support us with that unconditional love that many people just have not felt enough of or have not felt very often on earth at all. So the importance of being able to feel that unconditional love from our guide and to be able to give that to ourselves as well as to others. And also being able to feel the support and the wisdom of our guides is just a really, really big deal. Because once again, many people just don't feel supported enough in life, and they might feel they're carrying too heavy a load and really want some assistance with it. But because Earth is a free will planet, our guides can't interfere. If we're not asking for help, they can't just barge on in and help us. Because if we're uh, choosing to struggle through life, well, that's instructive also. And that might be something that we choose to do for a time period, or perhaps even for an entire lifetime. So let's go ahead and get started and dropping down into our bodies, ourselves fully in our bodies, grounded, calling in our guides and guardian angels to please be with us. And I'd like you to see yourself on a perfect early fall day, just the right temperature to go take a wonderful walk. And we're going to take an easy walk up a hill. And at the top of the hill, you're going to get to have this wonderful reunion with your guide. And your guide is going to share a gift with you, a gift that'll be very practical and meaningful in your life today, as well as a message for you. So see yourself on this wonderful early fall day, just the right temperature to take this wonderful hike. Sun is out, making you feel happy as you begin to walk up the path. Sometimes the path goes to the left, sometimes the path goes to the right. You're not always sure which way it's going to go, but you're just going to trust that you're working your way up to the top of the hill. You may notice some beautiful trees, flowers, shrubs, herbs along either side of the path as you continue easily walking up the path, feeling that sun on your body, warming you, healing you, making you feel wonderful, delighted to be out in the fresh air. It's feeling your spirits lift as you take this hike. You're now reaching the top of the hill. And as you look around you, you realize you have reached the top of the hill. You see you're standing in a grove of trees, a grouping of trees. And as you step out of that grove of trees, you see you're in a natural clearing, a beautiful clearing. Directly in front of you is another grove of trees, and you sense your guide is there, so happy to reunite with you. Your guide now steps out of the grove of trees on their side, and they can take on any form, as I said. They might be just a sound, they might be just a color, or they may present looking like a person. They might be a galactic being from another planet. They might be from another dimension. So just go with the flow. Just trust your instinct, what's coming up for you as you see and hear and sense and know that your guide is there, and feel an unconditional love that they have for you. They're so happy to be connecting with you in this manner, and you'll now be able to connect together. Each and every day you ask to work with your guide. There's no limit on the number of times you can ask to speak with your guide or connect with your guide. They're just meant to be that amazing, supportive, wise friend with that wonderful love for you and that buoyancy to just help make life easier, more flowy, more beneficial for you. So I'll be quiet now so you can really see and sense and feel what your guide is looking like. Just hold the space for you to do that. So it'll be a moment of silence for that as your guide comes in and you are able to recognize and see what they're looking like, how they're presenting for you. Guides are circling around, coming in, introducing themselves. Sometimes it helps to just take a big breath in through your nose. Hold that for a moment as your vibration and frequency gently rise. It can help your guide come in. It can also help to place your hand over your heart. Then just exhale through your mouth when you're ready, letting go of whatever you do not need. Just focus on meeting your guide. All right. We've got an eclectic group here with us. That's wonderful. And now your guide is going to present you with a gift. And they're going to hand you a gift box, a marvelous gift. It's going to be so practical and useful in your life today. You're welcome to go ahead and receive that gift box from your guide. You're able to easily take the lid off and look inside. You can not only see your gift, you can feel, you can sense, you can know, you can hear, even smell and taste what this gift is about. I'll be quiet for a moment while everyone receives their gift. Just take a big breath in, hold that for a moment. And when you let it out, you'll have your gift in your hands if you don't already have it. And some of you may know immediately what this gift is and what it represents for you. And some of you, it might just take a moment. If you're not sure what your gift is or what it represents or how it's helpful to you, just ask your guide. You're welcome to thank them for the gift and just ask them questions. Have some dialogue with them about your gift. I'll be quiet for a moment while everyone does that. All right, now that everyone's getting a feel for what their gift is and what it means to you, you can decide, is this something you're just going to take into your heart? Is it something that maybe belongs in your pocket? Or where this gift belongs? Is it's going to stay with you in the best possible way? And your guide is now welcome to share a message with you, a message that's going to be uplifting and instructive. Might be the answer to a question that you have wondered about or struggled with for a long time. Here's the perfect moment for your guide to share a message with you. Just give that one more moment. Your guide will continue to share a message with you. You're certainly welcome to ask some questions. This can be a dialogue. Just get to know each other. You've known each other for so long, but get reacquainted. All right, we'll just give that a little more time. And then our guides are going to depart, but know that they'll be nearby and we'll answer some questions if there are questions. All right. Guides are now connected with all of you, and you're so welcome to reach out to them. And the more you do it, the easier it'll get, the more natural it'll feel. And we can talk about some of the ways you can connect. Right now, the guides are getting ready to take their departure. And you're welcome to give them a hug, wave to them, bow to them, whatever feels right for you. And the guides are turning and going back into the grove of trees on their side. And you're welcome to turn and go back into the grove of trees on your side and come back down the hill more quickly than you went up. And it's now going to be easy to come back to the present day and time. You're in your own comfortable home, now wonderfully connected with your guide. I'm going to count to 10, and on the count of 10, you'll be fully back in your body, feeling refreshed, renewed, rejuvenated, and wonderfully, wonderfully connected with your guide. 1, 2, coming fully, fully back to the present day and time, which is Thursday, November 10th, 2022. 3, 4, you're welcome to open your eyes when you're ready. 5, 6, you're welcome to wiggle your fingers and toes, getting fully, fully back in your body, now fantastically connected with your guide. 7, 8, coming fully back to the present time, day and time, November 10th, 2022. 9, 10, you're fully back in your body, feeling refreshed, renewed, rejuvenated, and wonderfully connected with your guide. And you're welcome to share some of those experiences. So let's get, everyone is welcome to unmute and let me know what you experienced, how that was for you. And everybody can unmute here. There we go. I got several of you and get everybody unmuted. Yeah, some I'm able to, and some you'll have to do it yourself. It depends on if it's connected from a phone or how you're connected to Zoom. All right. So let's go back to gallery here. So who has a question? Who's up for sharing? How was that for you? Were you able to meet your guide? How'd that go?
Hi, this is Kirk. I was just thinking, well, first of all, I get the sense that women are much more sensitive to things of the spirit than men are, given the cross section of people participating. But this is also incredibly new to me and very not intuitive for me. But kind of the big question I had was, am I doing a good thing here? Am I doing a right thing here? And that was kind of a question I had coming into it. And I got the sense that, yeah, no matter how unintuitive this is for me, this is actually a good thing that's happening.
Wonderful. Well, that's great to hear, Kirk. And yes, it does depend on the person. Some people it's like duck to water, and other
Yeah.
people, particularly if you've had a lot of left-brained training, me
Hmm.
as an MBA, our attorneys, our physicians, our scientists, it can be like, what? You want me to do what? It can
Exactly.
just feel really oddball to vision and imagine and to get, because we're getting much more into our right brain when we do these types of guided meditations. So it can feel like, ooh, what's going on here?
Uh-huh.
So yes, it can be a leap of faith and just take some trust. But it's simply maybe thinking of it as your own intuition and getting
Yeah.
more to your own discernment, can be helpful. And also, sometimes people are socialized and told by well-meaning parents or teachers or
Mhm.
church or society, no, 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 you should not be doing this. You
Yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
any right to think that you get more help, or that you're a divine being, or that you're an eternal soul. So often we're socialized very differently. So it can feel like, whoo, is this okay? So you have to decide and trust yourself what's right for you.
Hmm.
So does that speak to your point at all? Your
It
points?
it really does. It really does. And I come from a context where, this is also very new to me, but I have assurance that it's a good thing. It's a right thing.
Oh, good.
But my friends and family, I don't speak much of it to them because they're clueless. And they kind of worry for me, quite honestly.
Yes.
They're afraid for me.
Yes.
But so one of my quests is how to interact, how to react with them, and how
I'm
much
s-
to keep within and how much to share.
I'm so glad you're bringing that point up. That is the most recent podcast. My podcast partner, Greg Kirk, and I did is what happens when I wake up spiritually first.
Yes.
The
Uh-huh.
only one. So if you look at wakingupspiritually.com, you will
Okay.
see our podcast on that topic with suggestions and tips and techniques.
What would the topic of the podcast be? Does it have a topic where
It's called, I think we
waking up?
called it What Happens When I Wake Up First.
Okay. Okay.
I
Very
think it's
good.
the
Thank
most
you.
recent one. It's at wakingupspiritually.com.
Okay.
And
Excellent.
you'll see on that website, you'll see they're all archived there, because yes, that is when we wake up first. Others can worry for us, worry about us. I'm sure my family thought I had lost my marbles,
Uh-huh.
because it was such a remarkable change for me, back
Yeah.
in 2010, when I started waking up, and they're like, what is going on with Wendy? What is wrong with her?
Uh-huh.
Because when you're going through a big change, it really can throw off family member and friends. And I loved your point too of, who do I talk with? What do I say? What do I not say?
Yeah.
Because there's just a whole new world going on, and it's hard to know what to share with whom.
Mm-hmm.
So baby steps and really small sound bites would be my suggestion. Don't do
Okay.
what I did, which was overshare the whole thing. And isn't this all marvelous? And why aren't you reading Journey of Souls and blah, 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 blah. And everyone was
Uh-huh.
like, whoa, Wendy, way too much.
Okay. Okay. No, this is good. This is good. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps.
It does.
Anybody else? What about meeting with your guide? Were you able to meet with a guide today for the first time? Did you learn something new about a guide you'd already met before? Did you have a different guide come in? What was it like for everybody else? How about your gift? Were people able to receive the gift? Yes, please.
I can
Linda,
share. I had a
please.
hard time. I had a difficult time staying on the fall path. I was drawn to the dirt road that I go to often.
Ah,
So I thought, I'll just go
what's
with it.
right for you? Did you go with the dirt road?
Yes, with the same guy that
Good.
always comes in. And I couldn't go anywhere else. I just thought, okay, I'm staying here. And so he was with me. And then
Wonderful.
the angel came in.
Wonderful. What did your
Very
angel look
large.
like or feel like?
Well, the angel was up in the sky. It looked like a typical photograph of an angel, but she was there for both of us.
Oh,
The-
wonderful.
The guy that has been my guide before. And so I just went with it. I just went with it.
You're
And
bringing- Go ahead.
pardon?
Go ahead.
And the gift was lovely. The gift was pearls.
And what do the pearls represent to you?
It represented reminding me to be gracious and elegant.
Oh, that's lovely.
And
You brought, go ahead.
in everything, in every encounter.
Oh,
And I
that's
really,
lovely.
really enjoyed it. Thank you, Wendy.
Oh, that's great. You brought up so many good points, Linda. I'm sorry I keep interrupting you because I'm loving all your points. Because you brought up the point, and I didn't think to say this at the beginning, if this presents for you a little differently, go with what's right for you. Because sometimes we're kind of a free bird. And that's what's absolutely meant to happen. I've had a lot of those experiences myself, and it'd be a guided meditation and the facilitator be saying, do this, do that. And I'm like, well, no, I already went off and did this.
Right,
Because
right.
you're meant to do what's right for you. You know, some people do follow along that way, and others it's a different way is coming up. But that's fantastic. And you're also making the point of our guides can be supported by other guides and by angels.
Yes,
And
yes.
just by other beings. And there also can be more sometimes of like a junior guide, you know, that's more starting, but they absolutely will have amazing helpers for them. So
I wasn't expecting to him come in on the dirt road like he's come before. But I just went with it.
it's perfect. Yeah, the Native Americans call that the red road a lot. See, you know, to see that dirt road. So
Oh,
great,
okay.
great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anyone else? Anyone else able to connect and have a question or comment? Anyone else get an interesting or surprising gift or a different encounter with your guide?
All right, I'll share. This is Trish.
Hi,
So,
Trish.
hi. I speak to my guides all the time. They are always with me. They're always helping me out. And I work with them.
Wonderful.
So, you know, they were here, a couple of different ones. And I'm sorry, but for some reason, my 80-pound dog has decided to sit on top of me and he's coming back for more.
The animals
He
are
wa-
really drawn to
know.
this energy.
He wants to be part of this. He doesn't usually do this because I do work all the time. But yeah, so quite a few of them were there. And they did give me a gift and a message. It's the same message I keep getting from them in my dreams and everything. I'm supposed to get moving and get some things done. They won't be specific about what it is. I'm supposed to, you know, do some work and figure that out.
Okay.
And I will have an opportunity for some time to do that in the future. They did give me a healing, which is probably what I needed right now.
Wonderful.
So,
That's great. And I love the consistency with your dreams, Trish. That's a big deal because dream time,
yeah.
when we're asleep, that's one of the major ways our guides can connect with us. So pay attention in your dreams. Anyone with a title in your dream, whether it's Uber
a
driver,
title?
a title,
Oh,
occupational
title.
title, like
Okay.
Uber driver, hotel clerk, physician, whoever it might be, pay particular attention to those individuals in your dreams because those are guides. And so pay attention to what they're doing, what they're showing you. Usually those people with titles in the dreams, they're encouraging us to do something.
My guides come
always
to me
wanna do it.
directly
Pardon?
in my dreams. My guides come to me directly in my dreams.
Perfect. Perfect.
They don't they don't mess around anymore. They
Yeah,
come quite directly. They tell me
Yeah.
what they want. I ask every
Great.
night for me to dream what needs for them to be with me, and that I would like to work with them. And what can I do? And I ask to dream what needs to be dreamt, learn what needs to be learned, and to remember what I need to remember.
that's fantastic.
And
I'll do this. I'll do the same thing as I'm falling asleep. I'll ask to receive a useful dream that I can remember and accurately interpret. So it's
Right.
along the same lines as you. It's just getting really practical with
Right,
these
right.
things. So, well, great.
I have a couple questions about understanding guides. Are they unique to ourselves, or could they minister to more than one person?
That's
Oh,
a great question. Let's just ask right now. Let me ask my guides, asking to be a clear channel. Kirk is asking a wonderful question. Are guides unique to us, or can they be working with multiple people? It depends, Kirk.
Okay.
Typically, they're working with more than one person.
Uh-huh.
Typically, they're able to do that. And some people have more than one guide. People typically have a primary guide, and that may be their one and only guide. But some people also have specialist guides that they work with directly. So it depends on the person. They said there's more configurations than there are stars in the sky.
Wow. Okay.
So they said there's no one answer, but it's a great question. I've often wondered that too.
The difference between a guide and a guardian angel, is it just this different terminology for the same?
A guardian angel is an example of a type of guide
Okay.
in my mind. Guides can include angels, ancestors,
Uh-huh.
ascended masters, animals, totem animals, can include, quote, I don't love the word aliens, but keeping with my A theme here of all the
Yes.
guides, starting with A's,
Yep.
aliens from other planets or other dimensions. Did anybody have a neat non-human, non-angelic being come in? Did anybody have like a bear or a wolf or a totem animal or a mermaid or a dolphin or something more more along those lines, or did everybody have more like humans or angels today?
I think the dog stepping on me was
Oh,
Yeah, the like I said, the dogs and cats, they just love this energy. They know when we're doing this kind of work, and they're like, yes, let me help you. Let me help you with that. So yes, my puppy is just she's holding space, and she's just curled up sleeping in her crate right next to me. So she's Henley's helping too.
well, as to this question, my mine was like a pixelated image of like a personage, a pixelated image, and I'm wondering, I'm so new and such a novice at this. Is although this may be my concept of a guide right now, can I anticipate that it will change over time?
It can absolutely change. The guide can come in one way and then change to something else. That often happens when I'm working with people and they're like, oh, it's just, not very clear and I'm not sure. And I'm seeing like a tall figure with like a hood and like a long robe. And then over time, it can more land and we get more details. Or sometimes they just don't want their face seen because they feel it'll be distracting. But the person can more hear them and sense and know what their guide would like to share. Sometimes the guides are just absolutely a hoot, and they will come in super silly, like a cartoon character, or come in like the scrubbing bubbles from the soft scrub commercial. And I'm like, what is that going on? And it's just, they're like, oh yeah, we're just, clearing the way and clearing the path. And then it turns into a guide, but they were like clearing their way as they came in. I had one client, the client in my first book in Regression Healing 1, he's just got a really big personality himself, the client does. And
Uh-huh.
his guide came in and was 40 feet tall. And I was like practically knocked over. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
what is that? And he's like, oh, that's my guide.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty casually about it, but that's just, what it took for him. Um, so it's as unique, as our fingerprints. It's just different for everyone. So
And can our guide or guides, can they consult with the guide or guides of other people in order to collect insight on how
Yes.
to guide us? Kind of like a consortium
like a
of
consortium.
doctors or something, physicians,
My belief is yes. For instance, my youngest daughter, who's 24, she chooses to be estranged from me.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have permission, and I
Wow.
can't talk with her higher self in meditation.
Interesting.
Even her higher self will just tell me, buzz off, leave me
Yeah.
alone. I'm
Yeah.
doing my own thing.
Uh-huh.
So I've learned to respect that, but occasionally I will sense that our guides are working together, particularly because she and I have a guide in common. My mother and my daughter and I all work with Archangel Gabriel. So
Okay.
Gabriel will come in and will sometimes be working on things that will benefit the family,
Yeah.
and will benefit, our part of the soul group. So I just leave it alone and don't knock on her door, because it's not appreciated. So I have to respect that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so definitely sometimes there can be communication. And also, if we have big projects, like some of the things that Trish might be working on in the future, um, or if we're going to work and get a book published, or if we're going to put together a spiritual retreat weekend,
Uh-huh.
or a summit, or whatever it might be, just as some examples of some of the bigger a documentary, whatever it might be, things that are going to benefit a lot of people and just take a lot of pieces being coordinated. I absolutely know all our guides are working on that together, because I can just, see it and feel it, and it'll feel like, gosh, there's just no flow to this. I'm just done everything I'm meant to do, and then I have to surrender it and just have humility and grace and say,
Uh-huh.
okay, it's above my pay grade. Let go of it. There's nothing further I can do. Let it go. And then when I let it go, all of a sudden, another day, another week, another month, another year, all of a sudden it comes back around again. And there's so much flow to it. And it's like, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. And now all of a sudden it comes together, because all the other people were ready, all the other pieces and parts got assembled, and it's divine right timing. So I think that's an example of how guides can work together. Great
Our
question.
our higher self is when we communicate with our guides, is it our higher self communicating with them, or we can communicate with a higher? How does that interplay? What's that about?
That's a great question. I personally, this is just personal belief,
Yeah.
so try it on and see what's right for you.
Yeah.
I believe our higher selves are our souls, our eternal souls.
Yes.
And I
Okay.
believe we've all got that higher self.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to think, oh my gosh, my higher self, off at home, off up in heaven.
Yep.
And then I realized over time, well, what the heck? Why am I leaving my higher self up there? Why is there so much space between us? And I started calling my higher self more into my body, like I did today for all of us, which again was a suggestion. And
Yeah.
you had the choice to follow that or not follow that. And to get that higher self grounded to the planet too. That's just another thing I personally have found very useful for myself and anyone else I've met. But again, if you operate a different way, follow your own road. But I see the higher self, the eternal soul, as being an aspect of us that we can get very wonderfully close with. Sometimes clients, when I'm helping them connect with their guide, they don't see a guide. And if they're getting to the point where it's like, oh my goodness, why don't I have a guide? What's going on
Right,
here?
right.
What I'll usually do at that point is put a full length mirror in front of them up there in that beautiful clearing in the woods, and have
Yeah.
them turn the mirror to face them. And they'll either then see the guide over their shoulder, or they'll go, oh my gosh, my higher self is my guide this lifetime. That's how I set it up. That's how I'm operating. I'm going to have a
Interesting.
very deep connection with my own soul, my own higher self, and there's no other, quote, more external guide for me. So it just depends on the person and their psyche and what their higher self, what their soul has set up for this lifetime. So it can be really different. And as I said, some people are really working with the totem animals and, working that way. And other people are working with the neatest galactic energies, and they've spent a lot of time on other planets or in other dimensions. So first, some of them will be like, oh my gosh, Wendy, I did it wrong. I didn't do it right because all I saw was this big dolphin.
Okay.
How did that dolphin make you feel? It's like, oh my gosh, I was so happy. I could hardly catch my breath. And it was showing me all these things, and it wanted me to ride on its back. I'm like, well, that's your guide. Everything you just described, that's the function of a guide. But if we don't realize it can be in non-human form, we might say, oh, I don't have a guide. I didn't do it right.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't do it wrong. It's just, it can come in different stages for us. Any other questions or comments as we get ready to wrap up here? Let's see how we're doing on time. 4:43. My time, Pacific time, but I want to honor your time. So anything else? And let me check in the chat while we're thinking if we can take one last question or two. Let me just check if there's anything in the chat here for me to answer. Okay,
I wrote in the chat because my internet connection is being wonky, but
I'm just reading your comment, Maddie.
What you just said about your higher self maybe being your guide kind of resonated with me, because every time I've done this multiple times, I've done lots of healings, I never see anything, but I do feel stuff, but I don't know. So maybe it's a higher self.
Let's just ask Maddie for you. So
okay.
Let me please be a clear channel for Maddie, asking the divine. Yeah, Maddie, you've got it exactly right. Your own higher self. Congratulations. That's very cool. But it can be a little bit off-putting, or we think that we don't have a guide or we're not doing it right. But follow your intuition, follow your heart, and asking for Maddie's heart to be, with her permission, to be wonderfully connected with her gut wisdom and with her brain, to have a really strong mind, body, spirit connection, because she's working with her higher self as her guide. So hopefully that helps. And let's just wrap up with some of the ways to connect with our guides. So via meditation, certainly, by taking a quiet walk in nature, in your dreams, by muscle testing. And there is one or I think two podcasts on wakingupspiritually.com of how to connect with your guides. So you can hear Greg Kirk and I, my podcast partner I mentioned, discuss a lot of different ways and give a lot of examples of how to connect with your guides. So you will see more material and more suggestions there. But thank you. If there's nothing else pressing, I'd just like to thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you taking the time. I will send you the recording from today. And please, you're so welcome. If we're not already actively working together, you're so welcome to request a complimentary 15-minute phone appointment with me. And anything else I can do to be of service, please just let me know. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
Bye.
Huh?
Bye, everyone.
Too.
Thank you.
Mhm.